got a chance to see The Penguin, Episode 1 on Max? Let's talk about it right now. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with me as we rant about movies, comic books, and television shows, as well as the occasional board game. My name is Frank Zanca. I am your host. I am also an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a filmmaker. And we just got our... I don't know if you're interested in vampire mobs in the 50s, but we just got the prototype in for Lords of L.A. You can see it's pretty cool. It's, again, vampire mob set in 1950s Hollywood. And it's got some amazing artwork, and the storyline's pretty good. And I'm going to be doing all my fulfillment for my Kickstarter. So if you do want one, let me know in the comments or whatever below. And I can set you up for that because I'm going to be going and doing a print run. All right. Plus, I'm also a game designer. So me and Mark Spears, who does a lot of comic book covers for Marvel and DC and Spawn and a bunch of others, did a whole classic monsters thing of art, and we ended up creating in a joint venture this amazing card game where you're playing as your favorite classic monster. Cool stuff, and it's going to be going live on Kickstarter, so check out the link in the description below to Kickstarter and just click notify me, and then it'll let you know when we launch. But let's talk about the Penguin. So the Reeves, the Batman movie, it isn't my favorite. I think it's very slow. However, I think that it had a lot of style to it. And Pattinson, probably isn't the best Bruce Wayne. He's a little too emo for me. But I thought he did a decent job as Batman. Again, it's not my favorite, but I don't hate it at anything. I thought it was good. But I just didn't think it was great. I know a lot of people think it's like the best thing ever. And that's great if you do. Batman's a great character. And if one version of Batman speaks to you than another version, I just want to see the character keep going, because the character has so many facets, and he's got the best rogues gallery of any superhero ever. And that will probably never change. And for us to be able to get a TV show based on a Batman villain that is done extremely well, and that's what how I'm gonna rate this show, is it is a Sopranos type of show, and I think they did a really good job with grounding this character that is mostly over the top. Of all of the Batman villains, the Penguin, I think, is one of the ones that are most over the top. Because, he really doesn't have any kind of shtick like he has his umbrellas, which is, again, over the top. But, he's not like Two-Face that has a very interesting, storyline where he's got multiple personalities. He's not as interesting as the Joker. Because, the Joker is just, he is a multifaceted character. Where I don't think the Penguin ever was created to have a multifacet. And that's why I think everybody plays him over the top, because, Danny DeVito and things to that effect. But this is not. This is very, very grounded. It is done by Lauren LaFranc. And from seeing her credits before seeing this series, or this pilot episode, I was worried, because her big claim to fame is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that I thought was a pretty poor series. I kept watching it just to wishing it was get better, and when it got to almost 50 episodes and it just never got any better, there were certain episodes here and there, but overall the series was just not good. And some of the characters were good, but the overall thing, season after season, was just not good. So she also did Hemlock Grove, which was okay. I wouldn't say that was a great one either, but it was okay. And so now, her taking over the Penguin, I was a little worried. But I have to say that the pilot episode was really, really good. We have a great amazing cast. So one of my friends was the director of Weeds Medium and Alias. And I said, what's the secret to directing? And he told me movement. But with this show, a very stagnant camera. And they'll stick on that while the actor is just reading their lines. I mean, they won't even do many cuts, not even over the shoulder or stuff like that. They're just like sticking on the actors. And while they're giving, soliloquy or whatever, and the actors are so engaging that it doesn't need movement. Isn't that interesting? Colin Farrell just knocks it out of the park with his character. He just kind of evolves into it and melts into the character where he's unrecognizable. His voice is not there. His face is not there. I dare anyone to even try to see him in there. He is just gone. And that character is all that's left. And to know that actor has that kind of range is just amazing. I mean, I can't say, good enough things about Colin Farrell in this role. He just owns it. Clancy Brown makes an appearance, and the guy from The Runaways, Renzi Felice. So it has some really good chops of actors here. So Kristen Milioti, who I assume is Italian, is playing an Italian mob boss, which I guess she's going to be the mob boss. But anyway, she's the daughter of a mob boss that was killed in the Batman. So this takes place literally right after. There was some really good stuff in here that the director, I think it was, I don't know if it was in the writing or in the directing, we get to see that he's got a club foot. His one foot is mangled. There's some kind of a mutation to his foot where, he has to walk around with a limp. And that's the big thing with the Penguin, is that he limps around, so that's why he got called the Penguin. Although we've seen other origins where his mom made him dress in, a tuxedo. I like the fact that we have the club foot. And there is a scene in where him and Victor are in the subway. And we got to see like a destroyed subway because there's a lot. He thinks Batman's a villain. Actually, I don't know if it was him. He said, "Can you believe this madman that did this to the city?" So I don't know if he was blaming Batman for that or he was blaming the Riddler. I assume he's probably blaming the Riddler. But I'm waiting to see how Batman kind of fits into this. I don't think we're going to see Batman in it, but I'm sure we have to allude to him in certain ways. But anyways, he gets onto the subway, and there's a spot available to sit down where it's handicapped. And he looks at it, and the kid looks at him to see if he's going to sit down, and he doesn't. So I thought that was very telling in that one quick shot, and this is how directors create depth to characters with no dialogue. Pretty amazing. So he literally looks down at it and he doesn't sit down because he doesn't see himself or doesn't want to see himself as an invalid. And I thought that was really telling of the character. Pretty amazing. But Kristen Milioti, I guess she just gets released from Arkham Asylum. So she pulls off the crazy very well. And she's like the wild card. You don't know what she's going to do from one minute to the next. And the same thing has to go with the Penguin, where he is a wild card himself as well. He is unpredictable as an audience member. You're wondering what he's going to do next because he's smart, but he's unhinged. He's got obviously very violent tendencies as well. So it's interesting because he is playing one step ahead. And I like that in my characters, that if I can have a character that's one step ahead and saying, yeah, you know what, that's pretty smart. And it didn't play the other characters as stupid because he has to lie continuously. And some of the lies he comes up with are pretty decent. But we have other characters that just are not buying it. And it's good that we get to see some of the other characters not buying his bullshit. So I like these very myriad of characters that they're really doing extremely well. And we also got, the husband from The Marvelous Miss Maisel. It was good to see him, even if it was brief. But yeah, I think that guy has a lot of range. Also, I would have liked to seen him for a little longer. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the rest of the series. I do recommend you watch it, and I think that if they continue on kind of building lore for the Reeves thing, I think that the Reeves movie will be decent. I'm not really looking forward to the Joker 2. I don't think many people are. But yeah, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll continue to do little reviews of these episodes without really going into spoilers. All right, so also remember to give me that like, give me that subscribe if you can. If you can, ring the bell, ding, ding. It'll notify you about when I put out other videos. I do review videos for comics, etc. I am probably going to try to go see The Substance this week with Demi Moore. I just finished on a reality show, so I have a little time now to go to the movies. And remember, too, to click that link below for the Kickstarter where you can play Myth-Lords, where we're going to be launching it on Kickstarter. It's a classic monsters card game where you can play as your favorite classic monster, like Dracula, Wolfman, Frankenstein, Creature of the Black Lagoon, and you can create your monster army and fight over locations like the Mummy's Tomb and the Ghost Ship and things to that effect. It's lots of fun. We also have a Dark Oz expansion. It's, again, going to be launching on Kickstarter, so definitely check that out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check out some other videos on your way out, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a great day.